we've tried to tackle it a few different ways at Contento. So our logo is a kind of yin yang symbol, right? Whereby you've got a black and a white intertwined, and we're trying to symbolize that there's two dominant personas. So there's a marketing persona and there's a developer persona. So, when it comes to developers, we've got decent docs, right? We've invested in making sure the documentation's clear. When we have images on, we've got a developer section of the website, which is dark mode, right? With a toggle. So, when you toggle from the marketing world to the developer mode, you're going from white to black, which is, again, it's a little hint that sort of, it's a different sort of approach. But then your kind of key point is around how do you position, and sort of one of the things that we've recognized actually is that when you look at headless content management systems or headless CMSs, which is the world we occupy, it's a relatively new concept, but it's been developer led up to now. So it's a very kind of technical solution. But all the early adopters have been developers, so much so we actually see an opportunity by being less developer centric. So one of our goals and ambitions is to say, actually, we're going to tick all the boxes on your developer and your tech side of the equation, but we're trying to be a little bit more accessible on the other side of the fence for marketers. And I'll give you an example, right? As a non-tech founder, if I go to the pricing page of a kind of a traditional, simple, basic website builder like Squarespace or Wix, it's very easy for me from a marketing point of view to navigate and to understand the different pricing tiers, all very straightforward. If I go to a Sanity or a Storyblock or some of the market leaders in headless, I don't have a clue. I don't really understand its data lakes and composable architecture and webhooks. So I find the pages on the pricing pages of those, completely inaccessible. So again, I wrote a long-winded way of answering your question. I think it's a recognition that you got to have a great solution, but then you got to position. You got to take a position that makes you distinctive and clear, because nearly every category of SaaS is getting saturated, right? They're getting very, very crowded. So you then need to make it really clear how you're different and why you're different. And I guess they're the elements that you got to work on. And of course, the last point on that is there can be challenges there, because of course people copy features. So like, if one provider brings out a feature that really resonates and sort of proves popular, the others can easily bring it around. So then you're into the whole world of branding and messaging and some of the softer stuff. So it's tricky, but it is very much doable. If I go to the blogs of any of the other headless CMS providers, they're all highly technical. They're written by lead developers, and actually this is the tricky piece, whereas the content on our side is written by me deliberately to kind of, well, two reasons: keep our developers working on writing code, but also for me to try and break down the barrier and make it easy for marketing people to understand the benefits. Because here's the tricky thing: most marketeers in B2B SaaS companies are kind of overwhelmed, right? It's a really difficult function, because the span of activities that you've got to be responsible for is very, very wide-ranging, from lead gen to managing the CRM, to sales and marketing collateral, to branding, to positioning, to helping with outbound copy, to doing paid acquisition. So when it comes to sort of a new technical solution like a content management system, the bandwidth that you have to really explore these new propositions is very limited. So you may, and this is why WordPress continues to be popular, even though it's deeply flawed as a product, because many, marketers have been trained on it and therefore have, know it, and they're kind of familiar with it, and therefore they're, not really interested in switching off it, even though it's a deeply flawed solution for growing technology companies.